Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my January favorites, and boy do I have a lot to talk about. Because of doing my end of year favorites, I didn't do a December favorites, and I figured that the stuff I loved in December I would just roll over into my January favorites. And there's a lot of things to talk about. Actually, there's not a lot to talk about as far as amount of product, just a lot to talk about the products. So anyways, let's get started. Let's get rolling because this is going to be long and I don't really have anything else to say. First thing I'm going to start off is with skincare. I'm first going to talk about the Soap & Glory Sugar Crush Body Scrub. Now, Soap & Glory has two different types of these. They have the Sugar Crush, the lime one, and then they have like Smoothie Star or something, which is like a oatmeal scrub. I prefer Sugar Crush because the lime makes it smell like a margarita, except I inhale too much there, and I'm pretty much almost out of it. I've been using this like non-stop for the past two and a half months, and it has made such a difference in my skin. I've talked about before, I have super dry legs. I get really bad dry patches. So I picked this up. Before you shave, when you're in the shower, I scoop up like a small handful of this and then just rub it all over my body, and it oh, sorry. So when I'm in the shower, before I shave, I scoop up a little handful of this, rub it all over my body to exfoliate all of the dead skin and dead skin cells and all that off. Now, I will say you do need to use this before you shave, because if you make the mistake I did and not read on the back where it says scrubbers beware, please don't use a scrub over irritated or braided or just shaved skin, as doing so might sting. Hell yeah, it did. It hurt. It was bad. So you definitely want to do this before you shave to get all of that dead skin and things like that off. But I've really been enjoying this. Again, I love the smell. If you're not crazy about this smell, there is a Smoothie Star version. I know that Jackie A on YouTube uses this, and not this one though. She uses the Smoothie Star one and swears by it. I just prefer this one because I like the smell of limes better. The other one, the smell is a little gross to me, but that's just me, my personal preference. So next for skin is a skin tool that not everybody, but a lot of YouTubers, beauty professionals really recommend using this. And I had never, ever tried it. It's kind of expensive, in my opinion. But I received it as a gift. So I really committed to January to actually starting to use this. It is the Clarisonic. I have the Mia too. Because this was a gift, it's in this, lovely lime green color, which honestly, it's a bathroom tool. I really don't care. It doesn't make a huge difference to me. But oh my gosh, what a difference this makes on my skin. The thing is, I've noticed with a lot of skincare, you don't really realize the difference it's making in your skin until you stop using this. So for me, when I go and I stay at a friend's house for a couple days, recently I was staying with some friends and I was gone for like 2 days, and so I didn't have this with me, and I broke out so bad because my skin had become so used to getting cleansed and purified with this. So what the Clarisonic does, you have this here little brush head. You start it, and it's actually on a timer. So it's going to time out in 20, 20, 10, and 10 seconds. So you do first 20 seconds in this area. You get your chin, you get your nose. I'll bring it along my jawline just because I get really bad breakouts right there. Then it'll go boop, boop, boop. And then you start on your forehead. So 20 minutes in the forehead, it'll make that booping sound again. 10 seconds on one cheek, 10 seconds on the other cheek. You're done in a minute. I only use this in the morning just because at night I often do masks, exfoliants, things like that. They're a little bit harsher for the skin. And I find that if I combine too many of those things together, then my skin gets really dry and I get these really bad dry kind of patches and flakes, and it's not cute. And then I start even more breaking out because my skin is trying to compensate for how dry it's feeling. So I highly recommend this. It is $99 which I know it's expensive, but it's an investment. I know people who have had this and they've used it for 5-10 years and they have amazing skin. So this is something I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated as far as my use of it, because I really wanted to commit once I got this to actually using it consistently. Last skincare item, this is the Henriksen Sheer Transformation Oil-Free Perfecting Cream. This is a moisturizer. It is good for day or night. It does not have SPF in it, so again, good for day or night. What I really like about this is how lightweight but moisturizing it feels, if that makes sense. A problem that I've been having with a lot of moisturizers that are designed for oily skin is feeling like it's so mattifying and it's just sucking the life out of my skin. And I love, there's so many mattifying moisturizers I've used that I've loved. I really love the Murad, the oil, the mattifying oil control one with the SPF. I love First Aid Beauty's one, but I'm at this point just trying to find a good consistent moisturizer to use. So I've been using this day and night. This is the mini travel size. You can't get this at Sephora. I believe it's $15 for the small size, but moisturizers are something that I feel like can kind of change a little bit easier than a lot of other products in your skincare routine. I think it's good to kind of switch it up. So just for all my oily peeps out there, here's another one that I really recommend trying. Again, $15 mini size, and this lasted me, honestly, this lasted me a good month and a half, and I'm almost out, but I really do recommend this one. Okay, I lied about last skincare products. I actually have one more. It was already sitting on my desk. I totally forgot about it. This is the Sephora Pearl Sleeping Mask. Now, it looks really gross because they describe this as a single-use mask. Honestly, I am about to get 4 uses out of this. I'm going to use the rest of it tonight. I did my very first video on my YouTube channel was a review over the Sephora sheet mask. And it's so crazy looking at it back at it now because it's almost a year later. And I feel like my channel has like completely changed and I've completely changed. But what was really funny about that video is just kind of the mixed reviews I got from it. Like some people are like, you did it wrong and that's why you didn't get results. And some people are like, I had the same problem. But I want to say this, what I have found is it doesn't matter which sheet mask I use. For whatever reason, the Sephora ones burn my skin. So I wasn't crazy in saying that I didn't feel like it was effective and saying that I felt kind of irritated and like my skin felt itchy wearing it. The Sephora sheet mask and the Sephora eye mask, the ones that they're like a sheet that you place under the eye, I've tried several different one of those. The different types they have. You know, they have like the green one, which is mattifying. I think they have a red one that's anti-aging. They have the pink one, the pearl one, which is brightening. And I've tried several of those in the past year. Every single time they make me itch and they make me just, my skin feels like stinging. Like I really hate the feeling. So I've just given up on those altogether. So it's not necessarily the mask, it's my skin's reaction to the mask. I just have a really bad reaction to those masks and I don't use them. But I did pick up this one just to test out all the boundaries and see. So this is the Pearl Sleeping Mask, and honestly, this has made such a difference in the moisture of my skin. Again, I am someone who is super oily, like oil slick. However, you do have to moisturize when you are oily. And honestly, in my opinion, sometimes you need to slightly over moisturize because the reason why you're so oily is your skin is compensating for, you know, not getting enough hydration, if that makes sense. Like what happens is, you know, we have oily skin, so we don't hydrate because we're like, I'm oily, so I don't need, you know, hydration. My skin's already providing it. However, because your skin isn't getting anything to compensate with it, it's overcompensating and making you more oily. So a lot of times people will be like, you know, I'm super oily, and it turns out they're not using a moisturizer. And that's why your skin's compensating for not having enough hydration, because we are 70% water. So honestly, the best thing you can do for your skin is 1 drink water to moisturize. That way, your skin isn't having to overcompensate for the fact that you're not getting enough hydration to the skin. So I opened this, and I take out, again, it describes it as a single use. I'm about to get 4 uses out of it, so in no way is it a single use. These are $4, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure they're $4. So I just scoop a little bit out, and it's so thick, and it's like a gel-like formulation. I spread it all over my face, go to bed, wake up, and my skin just feels plumper and fuller. And not that I need more fullness in my face, because I do have a pretty big face, but it just feels more like the buoyancy is back in it. And that's something, especially as we age, it's so hard for our skin to do, is as we get older, our skin cell turnover slows down, and it's harder for us to reproduce cells and to get that kind of bounce back in the skin. So I say hydrate, 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 moisturize, 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 especially when you're young. I'm 21 right now, and that's something that is so key, because it's what's going to help benefit your skin in the long run. That way, when you are 30, when you are 40, when you are 50, you're not dealing with, you know, as many fine lines and wrinkles. You're not having to deal with agency, loss of elasticity. If I could talk, I would sound really intelligent. But anyways, so those are the skincare products that I've been really loving the past couple months, and I think are starting to really make a difference in my skin. So anyways, moving on. This is something that was recently in my haul, which I didn't pull anything else, I don't think, except one other thing from that haul, just because I want to test those products more out of time, and they will probably, a lot of them will be my February favorites. But I did want to mention the Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm. One random interesting thing that I'm curious about is if people, when you get this, if you picked it up, what does your smell like? Because mine smells like pine, but my boyfriend's smells like no odor. And I feel like a lot of them said that, you know, they got theirs and it didn't have an odor. Some people have said it had like a light manly smell, but it was really hard to tell. My boyfriend's doesn't smell like anything at all. Mine smells like pine, which doesn't bother me, honestly, but I'm just curious about that. But anyways, about the product itself, honestly, Nikki Tutorials, thank you for discovering this product as a good primer, because I have not had a bad complexion makeup day when I use this. It is phenomenal how well it makes the makeup stick to my skin. Even being someone who is super oily, I thought that with the texture and the formulation of this, that it really wouldn't make a difference. But it makes everything adhere to my skin so well that I am less oily in the day because of it. Like, honestly, doing the same product, same routine I always have done, but because of using this as a primer, and I still go in with my my Boots primer just in my T-zone area, I am so much less oily that I'm not having to touch up and blot throughout the day. Like, maybe by the end of the night, I'm like, ooh, my nose is a little oily here, and my chin maybe a little bit, and maybe the center of my forehead, but that's it. And it is, honestly, it's amazing. I highly recommend it. I got mine at Target, like $6, and it's 3.3 fluid ounces. That's huge for a primer. So I recommend get it because I think it is amazing. So now into some actual makeup products. So this is, if you guys follow the ever fabulous Jaclyn Hill, she did a collaboration with Becca. Champagne Pop. We all know it. We all love it. It's amazing. To die for, love it. I have 2 right now because I bought one when it came out, and I got one as a gift. And I'm just like, praise God, I will not be out of Champagne Pop. And they made it permanent. So you too, if you have not gotten Champagne Pop yet, get it because it's amazing. But they took that and they created a holiday set with it, which I unfortunately was not able to get. But it was okay because they put 2 colors in there. Pearl, which was a completely white highlighter, and then Blushed Copper, which was like a rose copper gold color. So they took those and they added them to their permanent collection. So I picked up Pearl from Sephora. This highlighter is amazing. Like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. I do have the pressed form, and then I had picked up at Ulta a while ago the poured version, and I used that in a couple tutorials, I think. I think I used that in all of my holiday tutorials. I know for sure I did it in my, like, classic holiday look. but I absolutely adore this. I will say with the pressed, I do this more on the kind of everyday. Look at that beam. Like, oh, I use the cream on top of a couple highlighters today because I can't ever just use one to get that extra, you know, disco ball shine. But this is the perfect highlight for really fair skin. This is the perfect highlight if you have really fair skin, because having really fair skin, a lot of highlights that are more golden end up just looking kind of bronzy or brown or muddy, and it just looks like just darkness on, you know, where you're supposed to be highlighting. So this is perfect if you are a fair skinned child like myself. I know Nikki Tutorials is like constantly using this. I highly recommend it. It is a lot different than Starlight from Anastasia. Starlight from Anastasia does have more gold in it. I would just describe that as a champagne gold. This I would describe as like a pure white highlight. I absolutely love it. So something else that I picked up in November-ish and started using in my December tutorials was the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. Everybody had this in their like 2015 beauty favorites. Like, I swear, I don't think there wasn't a single person that didn't have this. And it is an amazing concealer, but what I love it for is not concealing, but the fact that the shade Fair Neutral is the first time I have found a concealer light enough that it actually highlights my face and doesn't just blend in with my skin tone. Like, there are so many great concealers out there, but this is the very first time where I've had one with a shade that was light enough that it actually, you can see it on my skin to get that kind of more brightening effect. So I really love it. Some people complain about it creasing, which I agree. It does crease under the eye, so you really have to dig in with like your sponge and then set it immediately. Otherwise, it's going to crease up. It's going to look cakey, and that's just not cute. I think these are the last two makeup products I have. This has been my favorite. No, not favorite. The best. Well, favorite, yes. But the best top lash combination I have ever found. So the first mascara I'm going to talk about is the NARS Audacious Mascara. I feel like nobody ever talked about this, and I want to know why. Because honestly, this mascara is phenomenal. Let's talk about first the brush. Now, you look at the brush and it's like, it is, I think, synthetic material. Super spiky. If you're not careful with this thing, you will stab yourself and it will hurt like a mofo. But honestly, how much length this gives lashes is absolutely ridiculous. I've used this on myself. I've used this on friends. I've never, ever had a mascara give me that much length. I've tried the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I've tried Dior. I've tried, you know, Benefit. I've never had a mascara give me enough length. I've had them thicken, which is great, but I do have slightly shorter lashes. I was not someone who was blessed with like amazingly long lashes. So when I do like eyeliner, especially thick eyeliner, it looks like I have no lashes at all, which is why I always wear falsies. It scared the crap out of me. So I always wear falsies. But this is the first mascara where I actually can wear, you know, nothing on my eyes and have my lashes stand out. I think it's awesome. So I've been pairing it with is the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. This was, I got in a little sample from somewhere, I think Sephora or something, I can't remember. But honestly, just the combination of these two, this adds so much thickness and volume. So go in with this first, lengthen up my lashes, make them nice and long, and then I'll go in with this to thicken them up, and it is the most beautiful pairing ever. I'm absolutely in love with this. This is probably the blackest mascara you will ever use. Like, honestly, so super black. Now, I will say I can use this on my lower lashes because I don't have to worry about it flaking or getting, oh my gosh, people, leave me alone. I don't have to worry about it flaking or doing anything like that there. I'd be careful using this on the lower lashes just because it's not waterproof, so it might run. I haven't tried it, but I've avoided it for that reason. Next, I'm going to talk about 2 brushes. I did at the beginning-ish of the month a review of some Morphe brushes. First off, I just want to say that all of the Morphe brushes I had in that review are my favorite, but I'm going to talk about 2 specifically. I will link that video down below for you guys to go and watch it, just because I go more in depth about the brushes and the brush hair and things like that, and I talk about all the brushes that I got, not just these 2. This brush changed my foundation game. It changed my life. This is the Morphe M439 brush. It's a like shorter, kind of flatter, domed buffer brush. Honestly, you need this in your life if you do liquid foundation, any way, shape, or form. I've used this with so many different foundations. I've done it with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I've done it with the Maybelline Matte and Poreless one. I've done it with the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. I've done it with so many different foundations, and every single time I'm in love with the result, just because it gives such excellent coverage and just blends it so well into the skin. I absolutely love it. I want to say this brush was $7 or $8. I can't remember. Again, I'll leave the link with the video down below so you can watch that to get further details, but you need this brush in your life. If you have to get any Morphe brush, I think this is the one to do because it's amazing. The second brush is the M441 brush. This is dirty because I used it today, but this is such the perfect blending crease brush that I've ever used. It just gets in there and it's just, it just gets so easily right in there and blends colors out like a dream. Any midtones, any darken, if I'm darkening up the crease or anything like that, I'm absolutely in love with this brush. Again, it's the M441. I want to say this brush was $3, $4. I can't remember if it's $3.99 or $4.99. But either way, super cheap, excellent quality, love it. I highly, highly recommend the Morphe brushes. I want to order more because I think they are amazing brushes. So next, this was also kind of in my haul, but they're lashes, so I felt like I could talk about them now. But I want to specifically talk about the ones I'm wearing. They are from the Eylure kit, the Screen Siren Lash Edit. They are in the style N121. I don't know if these lashes are part of their permanent collection and they just put them together in the set, or if these lashes are new. I would assume since they have like actual numbers that they are part of the permanent collection. They just created it in the set. But I love these lashes just because they are thinner right here and then they get fuller out on the edge. So they give a little bit more of that flare and lift look. I absolutely love them. I've been wearing them a lot. I think they're great. All right. We're getting near the end. Just 4 products left to talk about. This next one is kind of a mix of products, but it is really talking about press-on nails. Now, I talked about for years and years and years, I would go to a salon and get my nails done, and I always talked about on here how I didn't like buy nail polish or, you know, talk about when I received nail polish just because I was like, I get my nails professionally done. Well, that got to be expensive. Then I saw Dana, I don't know. She's on YouTube. I'll leave a link to her channel below. But she talked about the Impress nail press-on manicures. So she said she got hers at Target. I went to Target. I couldn't find any. But I stumbled upon them in a Kroger. So I bought a couple sets to try them out. And they are so much fun. I have... Oh, look how many sets I have. I just have all the sets. They are amazing. So they're a press-on nail. Now, what I did, it does come with like a peel back and then you're supposed to press it on. I always had to add glue to mine just because I am so harsh with my hands. I'm always doing, washing dishes, washing my hands, putting on makeup, things like that. So to me, they always like came off. So I always added glue, but it didn't make it a big deal about popping them off or anything like that. There's so many fun colors, so many fun patterns. They are shorter and they are a square tip. Now, because of that, it kind of inspired me into, I remembered seeing like acrylic sets that you could do yourself. So I had purchased, these are from the brand Kiss. It doesn't have any of their information. Those are old used nails. I'll put that behind. But this one is like a square Leto set, and then this one is one with a curve. But you can cut them down to size. That's what I did with these nails right here. And I love it because you can paint it to any color that you want. And it's going to last like a really long time. I'm someone who likes to change my nail color. I've discovered a lot. So I'm always, you know, constantly changing it and making it something new. So these I think are perfect for it. They're like $5 at Walmart. You could probably get them online on Amazon or something like that. I think they're great. I think they're fun. They'd be going to a salon any day, in my opinion. So, all right, so the next two things I have to talk about are fragrances. One of them I did purchase myself. The other I got as a gift for Christmas. So the first one, this is the one that was a gift, is the Lancome Tresor Midnight Rose. And I pulled up on my phone the information. The notes in this are blackcurrant, raspberry, rose absolute, jasmine, vanilla, cedar, and musk. I'm someone who likes more kind of richer, florally but vanilla-y kind of scents. I like smelling like a baked good. I like a little sense of musk to it just to make it a little bit deeper. I prefer a richer kind of scent. So I absolutely love this one. I've been wearing it a lot. I'm wearing it today. Every single time I wear this, people are always like, wow, you smell so good. Every time I wear this and the other fragrance, even when I'm like, you know, at work helping people, they'll be like, what is that smell? Is that you? And I'm like, maybe, I think so. And they're always like, you smell so good. Every single time I wear these fragrances, I always get compliments. The other one is the YSL Black Opium fragrance. This one has coffee accord, orange blossom, cedarwood essence, and patchouli ensive. It is described as addictive, floral, and energetic. Now, when I had initially heard about this fragrance, I was turned off because it said it had coffee in it, and I am not someone who likes the smell of coffee. I hate it. It gives me a headache. I don't like coffee. I don't drink coffee. Coffee, in my opinion, is gross. But this is such a rich and intense scent, and it is like perfect for the wintertime, in my opinion. Just because it is so like it's such a sexy scent. Like, honestly, between the two of these, I love them both. I think Black Opium might be my favorite by like just this. So anyways, that is it for my January favorites, and that's the last time I try to combine 2 months in one, because this video is already 40 minutes long. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't, subscribe and give this video a thumbs up to see more. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest at Hopeful Forever. I'll leave the links down below. Let me know what you've been loving for January, what I should check out, new products, things like that. Yeah, that's it. I've already talked too long, so I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.